YouTube, what's happening? Zay Learns in full effect. First of all, I'd like to thank all you guys who are continuing to subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate you guys, and I'm going to do the absolute best that I can to put out excellent, awesome content for you guys to provide and create value for you guys. So I'm going to get right to the point and right to it. I'm going to go over the 5 ways that men can find their purpose naturally. I'm gonna start with number 1. Number 1 is prayer and fasting. Prayer is such a huge arsenal as a man that we must have. It's a perfect thing that we need to have at the start of our day. When we pray, we're putting out energy and we're putting out all our needs that we to Christ, what we need throughout our day. And then also prayer is also unselfish because we're also thinking about others. Other people that could be going through something right now, and being able to pray for them, whether somebody is sick, somebody needs, there's something going on with their finances, whether it's for you, something that may be going on in your life or with your family member. Being able to think about others as well as yourself and your needs, and provide that to God, you're developing a relationship not only with yourself, but you're also building a relationship with God and with Christ. And when you have that at the first part of your day, the Lord appreciates that and He hears that. So prayer is very important. And also fasting. Fasting is huge because it allows you to have a certain level of discipline to not eat a whole bunch of stuff and excess food that is not going to be conducive to your body. And being able to have that level of discipline is very, very important because it allows you to be able to be at your best and be able to have the ability to focus. Because when you're eating a whole bunch of stuff at the start of your day, you could be going to the gym early in the morning, and if you're eating a whole bunch of food like bacon and eggs and sausage and which is good, but if you're doing that every single day, you'll gain excess weight, and then also you're not going to be able to have that jump start to your day to be able to work out and do the things that you need before you start your job. There's a lot of people out there that have 9-to-5 jobs, and being able to have that discipline to be able to fast is very important. Drinking water, taking care of your skin by drinking water, that type of stuff will help you throughout your day. And prayer and fasting and having that discipline to be able to do those things will help you find your purpose as a man, because not only are you praying to God, you're having a relationship with God, you're also being in tune with yourself and what your needs and what other people's needs are at that time. And you have the ability not only to be unselfish, but also be able to think about others, and also be mindful of what's going on with your life, your emotions, your mindset. So that's a huge naturally help your purpose, because you're already starting your day on a positive note just by prayer and fasting in the morning. It's huge. Just by doing that as a man, you're already winning just by doing that alone. So I'm gonna go with number 2. Number 2 is cutting off consumption of content, negative content. And what I mean by negative content, it could be TV, stuff that is not conducive to your life. It can be watching excess sports. Me personally, I love sports. I'm very passionate I love the Lakers. I love the Cowboys. I'm a big fan of a lot of these, sports. But at the same time, when it's over consuming my purpose or finding my purpose, that has to be cut off. And I do cut that off, because that's what is watching a Lakers game for 2 to 3 hours. What's that going to do for my life at this present moment? Yes, it's great to watch and have fun and watch the game and watch LeBron drop 30. That's great and all, but what does that do for my overall purpose? How does that provide value to others, right? What is that? How is that going to improve my life by watching a basketball game or watching a football game? Now, don't get me wrong. There's a way to where there's people out there that have Twitch, they have channels to where they watch games and they consume content, and then they take video of themselves consuming content, and they generate revenue. That's great. That's cool. Being able to have that knowledge and that business savvy to do that. But being able to not consume, consume negativity or consume things, and not being able to find ways to be productive. Instead of watching TV, we can read books. We can find ways to add skills, develop skills. If we're trying to find a job, watching the Lakers on TV will not be conducive to me finding a job. Joining a Toastmasters class, if I'm afraid to speak in front of people, would be conducive to defining my purpose and building my purpose. Not consuming Lakers content or consuming Netflix or any of those, which is good in moderation. But if that's something that I'm doing instead of developing my skills and finding different ways to develop myself, then I would be out of bounds there. I wouldn't be, I cannot complain if you're not doing the absolute best that you could possibly do to be better as a man, and then also find the purpose. So being able to transfer consuming into building is very important. And it goes up to my third way that men can find their purpose naturally. And that is creating content, creating and building. Men are in this world to create, to build. That's what we're here for. We're either creating or we're procreating. That's what we do as men. We're either creating or we're procreating. Right now, I do not have kids, but it would be unproductive of me if I'm not creating something. And the way that we could create something, instead of having a kid, but creating something, it could be by creating content, providing knowledge, providing insight to viewers out there who need to learn and know information, who are desperate and hungry for information that can help them and improve their lives, improve their way of life, improve, understanding that there's something better out there for themselves, and being able to focus or refocus. Some people, they may be focused, or they may have lost focus and they're trying to refocus, and they watch this video and they get that motivation to refocus. Men, we can create so much stuff. There's architects out there. There's people that are building businesses. There's people that are creating classes for others to learn. We must be in a position to where we're creating and not consuming. Because if we get in the mindset of consuming, then we're not being our best productive self and not being able to be at our authentic and best self as men, to be able to be leaders and be able to grow and create and be kings. So we got to get in that mindset where instead of consuming and thinking about what others are doing, find ways to where we can create and build for ourselves, for our family, and be able to generate income and create generational wealth for our family and our people. And in order to do that, we must be in a position to where we're creating, we're developing skills, and that is naturally putting us towards our purpose when we're in a mindset of creating. And how you be able to create is just sitting down, actually stepping away and unconnecting yourself from, sometimes you have to unconnect yourself from social media. It's okay to watch, be on social media, but there are times where sometimes you have to remove yourself from electronics. You got to remove yourself from social media. You got to get out there and interact with, with people in person, and, go out and do social work, help out in a church community, being able to meet new people and do different types of hobbies. Me personally, I'm in boxing. I find the ways to, as men, we must be able to learn about self-defense and being able to defend our family. If you have a wife, being able to protect and provide. It could be cooking, learning how to cook. I like to cook here and there. I cook. Being able to be able to defend, be able to develop skills to know more about financing and be financially free. These are the stuff that we be able to do by creating and not consuming, and being able to develop ourselves as men. Now, the next thing I wanted to talk about, number 4, is going to the gym, taking care of our fitness. Going to the gym is very important because it develops the confidence that we need as men to be able to go throughout our day. Because as men, it's tough, especially in today's world. At times, there's an attack on on male masculinity, unfortunately, and we got to be able to continue to grow as men and become strong and stay vigilant and stay sober-minded. And the way that we could do that is by going to the gym consistently and taking care of our bodies, taking care of our temple that God has given us, and being able to put the right food in our bodies so we can focus. I work in collections. I work a 9-to-5 job where I work in collections. Collections is by far one of the toughest jobs that I've ever had in my life. People, you learn, you hear the different side of people, the negative part of people, and sometimes it could be rough, because when it comes to people, when it comes to money, there's people who have families, who have kids, and they need to have their services on, and that's all they have for consumption and stuff. And there's kids that are in school or homeschool, so they're doing everything that they could possibly can to make sure they keep their service. But at the same time, they may be struggling with their money. So being able to take on that level of pressure to be able to have good decision making, and then also a level of focus, and then also being able to maintain your emotions as a man and continue to do the job and continue to think logically and not emotionally and react. That's very important. The way that you do that is being able to be level-headed, and the way that being level-headed is by going to the gym, being able to release all those negative energy and that negative toxins in your body, and release that so you can be able to focus and regroup and be able to develop confidence and assertiveness. So it's not just about developing your body, which is great and it looks good, and being able to be confident, but also being able to relieve any type of stress that you have. It doesn't have to be just going to the gym. You can join a self-defense class. You can join boxing. You can join jiu-jitsu. You can do, you can run. You can jog. There's so many different things that we can do to exercise ourselves and exercise our body. Obviously, we also need to exercise by our mind, by reading, and I talked about that earlier about consuming content. There's different ways to where you can consume content to where it will better your life. And building yourself and mentally is important, but also our body, taking care of our bodies and going to the gym and being able to relieve any type of physical or stress that we have in our lives. That will help you focus on building your purpose naturally. Number 5, last but not least, align with like-minded individuals. There's a study, I don't think it's a study, but it's, word out there about you are who you hang out with. I know I probably didn't say that right, but you are who the 5 people that you hang around. And it's very important to be able to be around the right people. If you want to build a business, you got to be around people who excel in business. If you want to be strong spiritually, you got to be around individuals who are strong spiritually. If you want to be strong-minded, you got to be around strong-minded people. Now, if you're around people who are not putting in the work or putting in the time and putting the effort to develop themselves, and you're looking to yourself, man, how come I'm not where I want to be? Now, that doesn't mean you blame others, because on this channel, we don't be going around blaming other people. We don't do that over here. We take accountability for ourselves. We take accountability for our actions. When I say being around like-minded people, I mean that if you're not happy to where you are at in life and you're around people that drink and smoke and party, and you're not liking where you are in life, then you got to reassess where you are yourself and reassess who you're hanging out with. That's very important. You got to be able to align with people who are wanting to get where you need to go. And also provide value as well. And that's going to align yourself to your purpose naturally. Being around the right people that's going to get where you need to go in life and improve. Now, as for being around the like-minded individuals, it's going to take sacrifice, because there's certain things that you may have done in your past that you cannot do no more. But if you're willing to grow and develop as a person, you won't have a problem with cutting things off that you need to cut off. But in order to do that, you really gotta look in the mirror. You gotta look in the mirror and really say to yourself, I want better. I can do better. I can be better. And the only way to do that is look in the mirror and really do some real digging within yourself and realize what can I do better right now that can help me find my purpose. And these are the 5 things that'll help you do that. Number 1 is prayer and fasting. Being able to pray and talk to God, and not only to God, but also being able to talk within yourself and have that confidence that you be able to withstand and be able to grow as an individual, and being able to have the discipline enough to remove things in your body that shouldn't be in there, whether it be negative food or content that you shouldn't be, consuming. Removing that's a great step. Number 2, like I talked about this earlier, about number 2, about removing negative content, and also cutting out consumption of content that's not going to be conducive in your life. Instead of watching TV, you can read books. Instead of listening to music that's not going to be conducive to your life, you can listen to audiobooks. There's ways to counteract things that are negative consumption. You can turn that into something that's going to reap positive benefits in your life. Number 3, create content. And the way that you create content is if you consume positive content that will be able to help others and help them grow and providing value. And when you create content, especially as men, and not just creating content, but being able to create, we're already winning. We're winning by doing that. So being able to create stuff and build stuff as men, it'll develop our shape, our purpose, and where we want to be. So that's number 3. And then 4, going to the gym consistently, being able to take care of our bodies and being strong, and also understanding the importance of discipline and being able to put the right foods in our body so we can be able to be at our maximum potential. Number 5, aligning with like-minded individuals. It's very important being around the right people, because being around people, it can make you or break you. If you're around the right people, you already know if you're not around the right people, you can get caught up at the wrong place at the wrong time, and things happen. So being around the right people and also finding people that hold you accountable and you hold them accountable is very important as well, and that'll help you develop and find your purpose as a man naturally. That's all I have today. Much love to you guys. Zay Learns, out.